Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of my Sardine Fast. It's been such a great experience. This one, I can't tell you, man. I've got a day and a bit to go. It's only about 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. But just some of the huge benefits that you get from this. One, I don't feel hungry. Literally ate at about 5:30 yesterday afternoon or early evening, and got up this morning, took the dogs for a walk at 6 o'clock. Went to the markets early. The organic markets here in Wood's are awesome. We pre-ordered, so I just collected a bunch of stuff, but got a lot of things that we liked from there too. Our avocados, our mangoes, mango season and avocado season's in full swing here, which is awesome, in preparation for some Christmas smoothies and some mango ice cream that we'll make ourselves. But look, just zero thoughts of hunger, surrounded by food everywhere. So my hunger's gone away completely, which is really interesting. I'm going to eat now just because I am a little bit peckish, although I did just drink some water and my hunger virtually went away. So I am going to eat now anyway, just because I want to be social with everyone else. Now, in saying that, I am upstairs on my Larry Lonesome. George has come up to join me. Haven't you, Georgie? He's one of our many dogs that we have here. Basically, he wants the rest of the tin once I empty this sucker and put it in. So huge benefits in not having that feeling of hunger all the time. And look, if you'd told me that for the first 45 years of my life, I would have laughed at you and said, that's ridiculous. I will always want to eat. I was one of those, every 2 or 3 hours I'd be hungry. Virtually haven't finished the last meal for long and I'm ready for the next one. So it's incredible the way it takes away ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and it reduces that influence. And it's not a bad thing at all. My body, even though I'm not hugely overweight, my body fat's around 15% at the moment, then there's still lots of energy there because it can easily transfer some of those fat cells into glycogen, and I've got fuel for ages. So that's one of the benefits. The other huge benefit is mental clarity. It's amazing how much clearer you get and how much less brain fog you have. Some of you young people won't probably know what I'm talking about, but believe me, it'll come. And it's just incredible how clear I am, remembering things, remembering names, remembering people, and it just seems to be so easy. The other one that's really interesting too is anxiety. Now, I would say I don't really suffer from anxiety. I'm not a very... Here we go, George. Let's have a quick look at Georgie here. Georgie, you want this one, Giorgio? Good boy. Go on then. I'll pop it down there for you, mate. Don't slurp too loudly. I would say I'm not a very stressed person. Everyone that knows me would be like, dude, you're highly strung. So it actually calms me enormously. It really does. It's quite fascinating how that works. I don't really know how it works or why it works like that, but it does. It's my chili. I've lost my chili. It's probably enough in here anyway. So, but yeah, mental clarity, lack of anxiousness, if you like, and stress, just able to handle stressful situations so much easier. Don't fly off the handle really quickly. And just my ability to think more. It's mental clarity, but it's also more strategy. So I'm not a tech guru by any stretch. But I've had some challenging things on Thursday and Friday yesterday that I had to figure out. So there's a software that I use for my fitness business coaching, and I haven't used it a lot because I'm new to running my own business in this field, other than doing it back in 2008. But I had support then. I had a business partner, Andre Sauer, so he did a lot of the technology stuff and I didn't. I can tell you, learning these things now with a fasted or a reduced carbohydrate brain, man, I get it so quickly. Whereas before, I'd struggle through it, I have to watch video after video, and I still couldn't quite get it. So those are some of the huge benefits. No doubt I've probably lost a little bit of body fat too from doing this. And one of the interesting things that I was looking at last night, when the kids were watching a movie, is how we get so much of the vitamins and minerals from the foods we eat. Sardines, a little bit like eggs, they're almost a complete meal. There's virtually all the macro and micronutrients you need, vitamins and electrolytes within them, which can support a really healthy functioning body. So some people think, well, you can't eat just one thing because then it's going to make you sick. I disagree. I think that maybe doing it for the rest of my life, if I just ate sardines, might be a problem. But in the short term, in fact, it's going to be hugely beneficial because I'm not putting any of that stuff in which is going to interfere. The other thing is digestion. Now, your digestive system, if you're eating 2 to 3 hours, which is what everyone recommends, right, and you're eating those starchy carbohydrate meals, then your metabolism is getting smashed. Your digestive system is constantly working, almost 24/7, right? The only break it gets is during sleep, but often we'll have a snack just before we go to sleep, right? Watching TV or whatever else before you go to bed, looking at your phone, and then you have a snack, and then you go to sleep. So that time of not eating and not stimulating and exercising your digestive system is very, very small. Whereas for me, as I said, 5.5 hours, what is it, 2 o'clock, so we're talking, a good part of 19, 20 hours without eating. So my digestive system's had a huge break. It's had a huge flush out. My kidneys are not having to work as hard. My liver's not trying to process as much, and it can eliminate some of those things more effectively. It's really quite amazing how different it is to what we've been conditioned. And I talked about that yesterday as well. And I was one of those, being an exercise physiologist, a sports science and nutritionist. That's what I thought was accurate. And really it's come to light that it might be accurate for someone who's an elite athlete or someone who's exercising, a lot, 3-4 hours a day type of thing. Sure, I get you that the need to fuel the body at that stage. And it changes as you go through aging, as you're younger. I mean, I would never get my kids to do fasting because I don't think that's appropriate. And the science says, no, they need actual stimulation from foods and obviously nutrients and those sorts of things to make sure they can grow up to be the best versions of themselves health-wise and physicality-wise. But as you get older, the need for it is less and less and less, especially if you've accumulated some of the stuff over time, which virtually everyone has, right? Because we've been conditioned. Do you know the interesting thing, and I've been saying this for a while, prior to the Second World War, we didn't eat a lot of bread. We definitely didn't eat rice. I mean, an Anglo-Saxon Western country wasn't eating rice. We just didn't have it. Pasta was eaten rarely. You were meat and 3 veg, right? That's what you ate. But because it became cheap, it came into society. Now, here in Southeast Asia, especially, well, not especially, but Bali or anywhere in Southeast Asia, yes, they've been accustomed to eating a lot more rice. So they don't get as much of the effect of rice. But you look at the environment now, the communities that we see, compared to the first time I came here in 1989, significant increase in childhood obesity. And those men and women that you see, the adults, there's so many more of them that are carrying extra weight. Why is that? Well, the rice hasn't changed, but what has? Well, there's an Indo-Marit, an Alpha-Marit, which is like a delicatessen, and they're on every corner now. And what are they selling there? They sell high fructose corn syrup foods, it's snacky stuff. It's all of these things that their body's not designed to break down, and it's not been accustomed to breaking down. So what happens? Insulin spikes, blood sugar spikes. Insulin says, I got to get rid of this blood sugar. Let's put it where I can. The liver can only take so much. Let's pump it into the fat cells, and of course we get fatter. And you get insulin resistance because not only does it pump the fat into the cells, it locks the cell. And says you cannot let go of that because we can't have any more in the bloodstream. There's too much already. So it's a double whammy, all right? And that's why everyone, Western and Southeast Asian world, or Asian world, typically these days, is getting more and more overweight. It is absolutely a pandemic. I mean, call me conspiracy theorist all you like. That's a reality of it, and it's not, rocket science to figure out why this happened. The takeaway foods. I mean, I never saw a delicatessen here in 89. There was warungs, local warungs, and little shops and those sorts of things. And sure, the oils that they cooked with probably weren't fantastic, but there wasn't that high processed, massively sugar added materials and tools and foods that there are these days. So anyway, rant over. I'm going to tuck into my sardines for today. Believe me, they're actually looking better and better. It's interesting what eating them will do because now I really appreciate it. My smell's gone through the roof. Man, I can smell everything, which isn't always good with a 16-year-old boy, but he's a champion and it's all good. So that was a long rant today. I'll keep it shorter for the wrap-up tomorrow. But look, if you've got any questions about insulin resistance or anything to do with metabolic health, I'm not professing to be a GP or a doctor in this area, but I was practicing as a personal trainer for years and being an exercise physiologist, challenging my nutritional lecturer. I mean, they both hated me for the whole 4 years I was there, so they were happy to see the back of me because I knew the food pyramid's wrong even back then. So do your own research. Look up some people, key people I love. I mean, you can look up whoever you like, but make sure they're respected. Dr. Jamnadas, Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas, Dr. Annette Bosworth, Dr. Stan Etberg, Huberman is another one that I have a look at as well. There's Ken Berry, who's very much more focused on carnivore and those sorts of things. But look at people who actually walk in their talk as well and see what they've got to say. Don't just listen to me. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, better have a mouthful soon, and I'm not faking it, right? Man, that new chili, fantastic. So much.